Good afternoon, recreation community. How's it going today on this lovely Thursday? My name is Caitlin and I work with Denver Parks and Recreation out of Outdoor Rec. And today you can see I'm getting outside a little bit. So today we're going to talk about trail etiquette because I know a bunch of us are getting a little antsy to kind of start using our trails a little bit more and enjoying that whole park system that is here in Colorado for us. So with that, I thought it would be a good idea to go over some basic etiquette, some basic rules that will just make everyone's experience out on the trail much safer, much better, and more enjoyable. So a couple thoughts about going out onto a trail with a group. Obviously right now, everyone is instructing us to pretty much have small groups, if not just going solo or with one or two other people from your household. So when we're on trails and talking about group size, I'm going to be addressing apart from COVID. So in general, when you're going out onto a trail, you don't ever want to really have a group size of more than 10 people just for basic use of our trail. It really impacts a lot when we have large groups occupying our trails like that in a pretty consistent manner. So if you do in fact find yourself after all of this with COVID happens in a group of more than 10 people, you want to break up into two smaller groups just to not inundate our trail system and to let every other hiker out there have a good experience and not have to kind of weave their way around, you know, a group of 15. So with that, also we want to talk about yielding to other groups on our trail. So if I'm a solo hiker and I come up on a group of about 8 people, 10 people, really that group of 8 or 10, that larger group, should be yielding to me because it's much quicker and much faster for me to go through the trail than for me to have to step off, wait for those 10 people to pass and so forth. So just be mindful of the amount of people that you're encountering on your trail. And then also in terms of wearing a mask while we're outdoors, you know, obviously if you are not going to be on a trail around a ton of people, you probably don't have to wear these. I'm going to be wearing them today because I have Carrie from Outdoor Rec here helping me out with some etiquette rules. But as you go out into the backcountry, obviously if there's no one around, you're not going to have to wear a mask. But there are some trails that are out there where if you do come upon some people and you're not able to maintain that 6-foot distance, you do want to keep your mask handy just for those kinds of situations. All right, so with that, I'm going to get hiking here. Here we go. So I'm really enjoying this trail out here today. I'm up at Genesee Mountain Course. Oh, hey.
Hey, how's it going? I'm just stuck down here with my dog.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate so much that you're picking up after your dog and that he's on a leash.
Oh, absolutely. Those are basic things we always follow.
That's really awesome. Thank you so much for stepping off. I'm going to keep moving on here.
All right.
But before I go, is it okay if I pet your dog?
Yeah, he's super friendly.
What's his name?
His name's Hank.
Oh, hi, Hank. Hi, bud. Thanks for being so friendly. Okay, you have fun.
Thanks. Have a nice hike.
Thanks, you too. All right, so in that instance, Carrie did a really great job having Hank there, picking up after him, making sure that he, you know, was out of any other hiker's way, really just having really good etiquette there. So if you are bringing your furry friends out into the wilderness, please make sure that you have those poop bags handy and that you pack those out. And also, as a hiker, it's my responsibility to make sure that my interaction with that dog is a safe one too. So if you want to try to pet someone's dog, if they look friendly out there, please always ask that permission from the owner and they'll let you know if it's okay or maybe if you should just keep moving. All right, I'm gonna keep walking down my trail here. Oh, it's such a nice, lovely day.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, look! Look who we found again.
Hey, I'll yield to you. Let me just get off the trail a little bit here so you have space to go by.
All right, thanks.
I don't usually have my dog when biking, but he really wanted to go today.
Oh, cool. So Carrie's back here again with the bike. And as a hiker, the biker is yielding to me. And Carrie, I don't really know a ton more about kind of our right-of-way situation. Can you explain that a little more for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right on. Bikes will yield to hikers. Bikes will also yield to horses. If you have two bikes passing each other, the downhill biker is going to yield to the uphill biker. And then with horses, it's really important. Horses can get spooked easily. So if you're coming up behind a horse, make sure you announce your presence and step off the side of the trail, generally the downhill side. The rider will usually also give you direction and let you know what the best thing to do is at that point. And both hikers and bikers yield to horses.
Cool. Awesome, thank you. And is there a certain way that people should step off when they come across a horse packing through?
Just kind of announce yourself, be calm, step to the downhill side, and just kind of await direction and hang tight. And if you have a dog, definitely keep your dog calm.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Carrie.
You're welcome. Have fun.
All right, you too. All right, and we're back to here on my trail, on my hike out through. And I have to use the restroom all of a sudden, but obviously being out on a trail, there really isn't a spot for me. So no one is really out here. Is it okay if I just go number one real quick on the trail? Absolutely not. You want to not only just step off the trail, but you want to go off the trail trying to avoid stepping on, any plants, any wildflowers and things like that. And you want to make sure that if there's anyone else out there that you can't see them, because if you can see them, that probably means that they can see you. So please just take that distance, take the extra 2 minutes to step off your trail, know which direction you're going, pay attention to that so that you can relieve yourself, and of course follow that L&T principle of disposing of waste properly. That includes human waste. So if it's more than just a little tinkle, make sure that you're prepared and you can make sure that you're cleaning up after yourself in an appropriate way. All right, you know what? I don't have to go to the restroom anymore, so I'm going to come back down here to my trail, and I'm going to take like a nice little break. I'm going to step off the trail for my break.
Yay!
Oh, what is that?
God, what a beautiful day! Oh, my music stopped. That's all right, I'll just sing! Oh, it's a oh, there it is. Hey, how are you doing?
Hi.
It's so nice.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Get her,
Oh,
Hank,
gosh.
Get her. Yeah, give her a big lick, Hank. Have fun, have a great day. It's so cool out here.
Hey, yeah. Oh my goodness. Really? Wow. If I didn't actually in real life know Carrie and Hank, that would be incredibly rude what just happened there. So a couple things going on. When you see a hiker just out on the trail enjoying those beautiful nature sounds, music can really, really deter from that. So the fact that she had some music out there on a speaker and wasn't really paying attention, she was just going on her way. She didn't really have control of her dog. The dog just came up to me. That's not really going to be the best way to make friends on the trail. So L&T principle number 7 is to respect other visitors. So the way that we can do that, if you're someone who really likes to have music while you hike, try earbuds. With that though, you still need to be able to communicate with other hikers or bikers or anyone out there using the trail. So if you are going to use those earbuds, just make sure that you have at least one ear free so that you're able to communicate with other people out there. If you have a biker coming up upon you and they're telling you that they're behind you and you are just listening to your music in the earbuds, that's really not a good situation. Also, just for your own safety, if you're listening to music, how are you going to know what's around you if you aren't able to really kind of tune into what's happening out there in the woods with you, or really on any trail? So also we talked about making sure that you have your dog on the leash and not just going up to people who might not really be seeming into it. It's always courteous and polite to maintain control of that dog. And if someone else asks to pet your dog, cool, that's great. But in that situation I didn't, so it's not really good for Hank to just come up and lick me. All right, so those are some other trail etiquette practices that we want to be mindful of. And while I'm finishing up my break here, You know, if I'm having a snack and I have some wrappers from that food, I'm gonna do a double take of my area, do a sweep, and make sure that I have gotten all of my trash and that I'm packing it out. I'm not leaving any food scraps. I'm not really leaving any trace of my little break session here. And when I am taking my break, you know, a good thing to do is to have some shade while you're doing that if it's really sunny out. But just be mindful again of other people passing through, that you're off the trail enough, that you're not sitting down in some really pretty wildflowers that, you know, other people might want to enjoy. So those are some tips for having some good trail etiquette out there. I hope you folks are able to find a good spot for yourself and just enjoy our really lovely parks if you need to get out for that mental and physical health aspect of things right now. So again, my name's Caitlin. I'm with Outdoor Recreation, and we really appreciate you tuning into these different series, learning about various outdoor activities and information. So if you're enjoying these shows, I will be on next tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. and I'm going to go over some cooking rehydrated foods. So we're going to take a look at a couple recipes that I really enjoy making out there on the trail. And we're going to start off with some dried foods, and I'm going to show you how you can rehydrate them and make them into some tasty meals. So go ahead and join me then, and go ahead to denvergov.org/recreation, and you can see the remainder of our schedule for the week. We still have some other programs coming from other departments, like active older adults, arts and culture. There's all kinds of good stuff out there, so check that out. And if you haven't seen us on Instagram yet, we are Denver Parks Rec. Go ahead and give us a like there and follow some of our programming on that channel as well. All right, folks, I hope you enjoy the rest of your lovely Thursday. As always, have fun and be safe.